Battle Royale games are all the rage right now, and Fortnite is one of the latest projects to add a Battle Royale mode to its mix. It might be tempting to dismiss this addition as a quick cash grab, but on further inspection you'll see that this iteration actually has a lot going for it. The first thing you'll notice is definitely going to be its cartoonish art style. At first glance it strikes you as childish, and certainly it's very different to the grit and drab survivalist themes we've become accustomed to. You may even be forgiven for thinking this was a kid's game, but play it a bit longer and you'll realise that this game's art style forms a part of its unique identity, and this identity allows it to incorporate fun and interesting gameplay mechanics that Battlegrounds or King of the Kill never could. It's a personality that definitely sets it apart from its competitors, both thematically and in practice, and as such, Fortnite's BR mode offers itself up as a viable alternative in the competitive BR genre. Let's start at the beginning though, with the gameplay. Like just about all other Battle Royale game modes out there, 100 players begin the round, dropped overhead in the sky, and fall to earth with the aim of finding weapons and items with which they can hopefully outgun and outlast their opponents. In this respect, Fortnite's BR mode plays out much like Battlegrounds or King of the Kill. Where Fortnite differs, however, is within the rounds themselves. In a transplant from their co-op release, players can extract wood, brick, and metal resources from the world around them, and use them to create structures on the fly. This could include shelters to use as cover, bridges or stairways to higher ground, and even stepping stones down an otherwise perilous slope. While the mining and building system within a game like PUBG would seem unrealistic, Fortnite's art direction, that cartoonish deference towards absurdism, means that a building mechanic can fit right in. And building isn't the only thing this game gets away with that other BR modes never could. Take for instance the jump pads and trampolines. Players can place down jump pads which launch teams into the sky, allowing them to redeploy their glider and cover distance fast. Streamers have been coming up with all sorts of interesting ways to use this, from fleeing combat, escaping the approaching storm, and even as a surprise attack route against competing players. I doubt that a mechanic like this would ever make it into a game like King of the Kill or Battlegrounds, where seriousness and realism take center stage. In Fortnite though, with its cartoonish graphics and emphasis on fun, mechanics like this seem like just the beginning. Fortnite's gameplay and controls are tight and responsive. In many ways it already feels like a much more polished and perfected game than either Battlegrounds or H1Z1. There's a variety of weapon pickups in the game, all with color-coded quality varieties, so you'll continually be looking to upgrade your gear as the round progresses. The look and feel of the weapons in the game is responsive and weighted. You'll quickly prefer your own personal favourites, and seek them out as the round goes on. Firefights are visceral and frantic, and movement is robust. You can jump much higher than you might expect, and the building mechanics give the environments unusual verticality. Players who can think outside the box will be rewarded with interesting ways to gain an advantage, and each round usually culminates in a frantic scramble for survival, in which you are given the weapons and tools to either fight or build your way out of danger. I also think that Fortnite's building mechanics seem to have changed the way BR modes get played. Because most prefab buildings are destructible, and building is something you can do anywhere, players are much less likely to camp strong positions. Instead, they seem to actively seek out firefights with other players, often as fast as they can. I assume this is because, with the ability to build cover wherever you want, the advantage given to teams by environmental cover or high ground becomes somewhat nullified. This may be personal preference, but a game where teams are constantly seeking each other out as fast as possible is much more enjoyable to play and interesting to watch. But what about the bad stuff, right? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, there really isn't a whole lot of bad things to say. I haven't encountered any game-breaking bugs at all, but if I had to complain about something, it would be the HUD and UI elements. At the moment, they are a little too big for my liking, and I would like to see the option to scale them down. Aside from these few problems though, Fortnite's Battle Royale has to be one of the more complete and polished in-development experiences I've played. As the Battle Royale mode gets fleshed out, it's my hope that new building items will be included, and the repertoire of player choice in how they use these items is likely to increase. Hopefully streamers will find out new and interesting ways to use these items, and the game will grow in complexity and, most importantly, fun. Fortnite has a personality all to its own, and it's a personality that sets it apart from its competitors. But should you purchase the game? Well, the best thing about it is that you don't have to. because the game's free. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. Fortnite's Battle Royale mode, as good as it is completely free to download and play right now. There is an in-game store where you can purchase cosmetic items, but so far nothing that will impact gameplay. So can I recommend it to you? Heck yeah. In its present state, it gets a dozen bouncing pumpkins out of 10. And that's a good thing, if you were wondering.